She still can't even stand.
She's so wobbly.
Sean Whaley is furious.
She's upset. But 100%.
Oh, post pay-per-view episode, the last one of 2025, last one on the ESPN era. Joey, welcome in, kid. Episode 207. Today is Friday, December 12th, 2025. Kid, I'm going to miss these post pay-per-view episodes. How you doing?
What are going to be post PLEs?
Right? No, just post-fight nights. That's it.
So even if it's still gonna be numbered events though.
Yeah, but no more PLE.
They gotta consider that a PLE, just like the WWE though, right?
It doesn't have the same je ne sais quoi about it. Yeah, there's nothing like a
failure on their part. B-Dub's visits will never be the same. You know, Saturdays are for the boys. I mean, I don't know. Right? We got to find a way to still go out and do these things.
You're a big B-Dubs guy, it seems like.
I mean, there's not many better places to watch fights, I guess. I mean,
really? Not even the comfort of your own home?
Have a couple people over. Yeah, that's a good time. Or going to the fights live.
Oh, yes. Nothing beats that.
That atmosphere is ridiculous.
I was a big B-Dubs guy back in the day. Think it's very overrated.
Dave and Buster's.
Oh, love Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, that's a pretty good spot.
Yeah. I don't
should get a little more cred for that. A little more
honestly. Respect. And maybe I'm late to the party. For the first time, I think last month, I've had Chili's. Great spot.
I mean, Chili's hits, but they're not showing fights. They would take over the game.
Yeah. They're showing professional fucking paintballing on that fucking TV. But I'm just saying, just for
the Ocho.
Yeah, the Ocho. Kid, it snowed yesterday.
Yeah, I got a freeze warning. Down here.
How cold is it?
It's not like what it was up there, you know. Last week it rained. It would have been snow if we were still in Jersey, you know.
So like temperature wise, like Fahrenheit, what is it?
It's like a freezing. What the warning was, it's going to drop down to like 30s. You know.
Okay, so right now it's 37.
Yeah, bro, you're in that right now. We're growing up, we're used to sub frigid temperatures, snow, having to shovel your car out, or not being able to for that.
So right now it's 55 in South Carolina, but low of 31.
Word. You know where it's not raining, snowing, or anything out in California, bro. Our girl Sky Nicholson's fighting out there in Stockton. Just wanted to keep tabs on some boxing since we're not really talking about even Kubat Pulev, Badu Jack. I mean, a couple title holders will be defending their belts this weekend if you want to check some boxing.
Yeah, I did not know Sky Nicholson was fighting this weekend.
On the undercard.
Wow.
I think Pacheco's headlining it. A couple of the zone cards.
She is a minus. She's the highest. She's the biggest favorite. She's minus 2,400.
And you know how we squeeze her down?
Via decision.
That's right.
Little pick off the top, but kid, all rain, Piotr Yan. What a masterclass he performed on Saturday. I mean, 49-46 times 2, the 48-47, which I think was... I don't agree with it. I think there's a clear argument that Piotr Yan won all 5 rounds, if I'm being totally honest. And
yeah, dude.
And to be honest, though, I don't even know if Merab on his best night was beating that version of Piotr Yan, and he becomes a
nobody was going to beat him.
No,
last Saturday night.
He becomes a 2-time bantamweight title holder, and the story. I mean, losing the belt, illegal knee. Then dropping out, losing that split decision against Aljo, which I did think Aljo won. Then losing the split decision against Sugar, which I thought he won. He was on a 3-fight losing streak, and then comes back and wins the belt. And it was immaculate. I thought he won all 5 rounds. Yeah, it's literally a storybook. All 5 rounds he won, in my opinion. I think there's an argument he could have won the first round, Merab, but my question to you, and I'm going to let you ramble a little because I have to go upstairs and get a book. Do you think Merab bit off more than he could chew? And I will be right back.
Bit off more than he can chew, I can agree with. I think listening to, some of the other podcasts around, especially like when you listen to the Good Guy, Bad Guy, DC and Chael, they're, Peter Yan wouldn't have had the opportunity if it wasn't for Marab going for that fourth defense, right? He was going for history. So does he bite off more than he could chew? Hindsight's 2020. And yes, yeah, you could say, of course, because he lost. How good Peter Yan looked. You got to give credit to his coaches as well. I think it's very interesting how the coach broke down the game plan. I think that definitely comes into play. But so you can't blame it
Yes.
all.
What did you say? I just got back.
Yeah, no, you're good. I was just saying that, yeah, you can agree that he bit off more than he could chew. But of course, you can't, take away anything from Peter Yan's performance, the game
No.
plan that his coach devised, all that. The only opportunity Peter Yan would have had here is that Marab was going for the belt, going for history, for the defense of the fourth belt in one single calendar year. Peter Yan would have had that opportunity if it wasn't from Rob going for that. So yeah, like I said, hindsight 2020, he did bite off more than he can chew because he lost that, right? If he came out and won, then he would have said history and it wouldn't have been the case. But I do think it's just not many people could have matched that performance that Peter Yan put on. That
What do
I
you
think
think
that was
about
a
what do you think
all-time
about
performance.
the coach Wood saying, Marab, you're up 3-0? Bad coaching on his part.
Yeah, we don't like to see that, right? We want like kind of transparency. I mean, we went into the championship rounds thinking Peter Yan was up 3-0. So, I guess he could win the round with the over the head takedown drag, but that does nothing for me anymore, right? We were seeing that time and time again, and nothing came from it. He was more dominant positions when he was taking down from the fence, but those, explosive over the shoulder takedowns, it was like, winning him rounds because of how showmanship kind of it was, but. Yeah, it was a great performance by Peter Yan. Like what I mean, like you said, like all time, like Cody Garbrandt, Dominic Cruz performance, right? Like these one fight performances that I think are world class, all time performances. This Peter Yan was up there.
Now, I thought he was on the trajectory of being the best UFC fighter of all time if he won this. Now, I still think he's fight of the year. We'll have our award ceremony in the later weeks. My question to you is massive step back now. Where do we go from here if you're Marab? Does he get an immediate rematch back? And I guess thoughts real quick before you answer those. Thoughts on him saying after the fight, I wanted to make an entertaining fight. I understand that, but Peter Yan stuffed 2 of 29 takedowns, and I think 29 is kind of an egregious number. I don't think if you just shoot a single, that's not an attempt. Like, what are we doing counting all those? But anyway, I digress. But Peter Yan stuffed most of your takedowns. So even
when
if
does it classify takedown like attempt? If he actually gets in on it and then it gets to like a counter wrestled, sprawled on reverse. So like just the entry itself doesn't count. That's what you're referring to.
No, I'm saying the entry itself is just counting. He did not have 29 takedowns.
You're counting that as a takedown attempt. You're saying the entry itself is not enough
It's
to
not.
warrant
No.
a takedown. Okay,
No.
a takedown attempt. Okay, I mean that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, you were saying that Marab wanted to argue to make it a more entertaining fight.
Yeah, and even if he didn't and he went back to
I haven't heard a
Marab,
guy, especially a champion, audibly gasp after a body shot like that in quite some time. Like that was.
It also seemed like Marab was gassing in the fight.
They argue the fact that the Pantoja, the co-main event fight ended a little early and that they didn't warm up. That's the newest thing that I'm seeing. But think about it. Peter Yan is just like fighting in the elements or playing sports in the elements. The opponent is in the same circumstance as you. So I don't think you can necessarily think that is a valid excuse. But as fighters, unfortunately, excuses are built into the losses and it protects them. We always talk about stock and everything like that in the fighter, where the matchmaking go from there. It's protection from them, and it could kind of maybe guarantee him a title shot again. The rematch might be next, but we are going to maybe keep the division moving, right? So it's very interesting.
Yeah, the last time Peter Yan was in the pound-for-pound men's ranking was the fight where he got disqualified for the illegal knee. He is now in the top 6 in the pound-for-pound rankings. What a masterclass. I'm very happy for Peter Yan. I think he's one of the best bantamweights. He's one of the best UFC fighters of all time, in my opinion. And now do I see? It's two things could be true. I think he deserves an immediate rematch, Marab, but do I think he'll receive it? Maybe not after what we saw with Taisura Taira. I'm very happy. Thank you.
Right.
but we'll see. We'll see. I think the UFC is warming up to Marab. I'll say that. They were happy with him. He was a very active champion.
Yeah.
They did everything they asked for. So we'll see who's
It's
next.
going to be a sick fight regardless. Like, they'd run that back. It's good. It was a great fight. It was fight of the night, right? Like, the main event was fight of the night. Marab looked, at times the lesser of the two men in the octagon, but at the end of the day, it was still a great performance. And yeah, I could see it's valid to run that back. I see it. Why not? He has earned it. Like you said, we talked about opening it up that Peter Owen wouldn't even had the opportunity if it wasn't Marab going for history.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Alex Pantoja. 26 seconds in. Why they don't need to show it 45 times
in different angles and different freaking lightings and effects. The freaking 360 cam. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, it's a little too much. Zach Candido and everybody at the UFC. Enough's enough.
And then the misinformation.
The misinformation is what got ridiculous. Me too. Like, and then they doubled down on it. Dana White came out and said they popped the shoulder back in.
But you're the brass. It's not like, I guess, like, it's journalistic integrity still, even coming from the company itself, right? Like, I mean, the information should be transparent. That's the thing we're lacking. It's like, nothing matters. We were talking and seeing about every thing that's said. It really has no merit because they can go and do whatever they want behind our backs. So,
yeah. Well, regardless, and I'll say this: I'm not taking anything away from Joshua Van because he did. Take the leg to fall, and he did something to win the belt. But I guess I don't want to speak for him. I mean, he's the second youngest champion behind John Jones ever to witness gold. People were bashing him on Twitter for, the celebration while a guy dislocated his elbow inside the octagon. I'm not going to bash him for that. He won gold. Credit to him. He changed his life. He changed his family's life. So a guy from Myanmar doing that is spectacular. I guess they
were on full display this morning on one. Like a lot of Myanmar athletes were killing it, bro. Like, Southeast Asia's got a lot of super studs, and Josh Van's one of them.
Yeah, and I hate to who am I to judge or anything, but I guess I wouldn't want to win like that. Pantoja he deserves an immediate rematch whenever healthy.
Yeah, that's a guaranteed immediate rematch.
Yeah, I fucked up because I said Petr Yan versus Taisora Taira. No, Joshua Van versus Taisora Taira.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
So maybe Joshua Van versus Taisora Taira is next, but when Pantoja's ready, hopefully he doesn't need surgery. If he needs surgery, he's going to be out a while. If he doesn't, he's out for like 3 to 6 months, they said. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
It looked bad, but
hey,
credit Joshua Van.
Yeah, credit Josh Van. No confusion on your part, though, because the reason why you said that is because I brought it up when they were talking about the warm-ups from the main event, and then they brought in the co-main event, and it's all correlated to now what you had said, the featured bout. And Moreno's back on the horse, too. Now just recently have another fight, even after that finish loss. Controversial? I don't know.
Yeah, a little stoppage. I think Mark Smith just had a bad night with the whole Macy Barber.
He's having he's stringing together a couple bad nights back to back.
Yeah, so I mean, it was inevitable. I thought Taisora Taira was going to eventually put him away.
30 unanswered shots, the back.
You gotta just call it eventually. But what a fight for Taisora Taira, though. I mean, he is the real deal. Moves up into the top 5 in the flyweight division, and we'll see what happens here next with Manel Kape and Raw Dog. But I think he's next because I just don't think Pantoja is going to be ready.
No, that's the thing. He's not. I guarantee that. I think they're going to throw that flyweight title fight as a co-main event on some card, something soon, 326 maybe, something like 3 pay-per-views away, not too far.
Welcome to the top 15, Peyton Talbot. I mean, what a masterclass he put on against a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, being coached by Henry. And at the end of the day, Henry Cejudo had a really great career, and he set up who he wanted to set up for the next generation. Kind of giving him the rub like a John Cena would. I don't know if you saw him on Pat's show. He's gearing up for tomorrow night. That's another thing. Saturday night main event, John Cena's last appearance. But yeah, Peyton Talbot's the future, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one dark horse in that bantamweight division, I know a lot of
it's
people
Ayman Zahabi.
I do like Ayman Zahabi, but I think maybe Peyton Talbot, Vinius Oliveira's good. Payne Talbot said he liked Cheeto next or Ayman Zahabi. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, you could throw the Amin Zahabi fight. I guess he'd want to
It'd
fight
be
Pirion,
awful for
but
Ayman Zahabi, though.
yeah, that's the thing. I don't think he's getting that fight though. So, to get the title shot, I think for some of these guys, yeah, I think Crab is in a bucket right now at 135.
Another draw from my Polish friend Jan Blachowicz.
Arguably won that fight, and arguably his last all these fights, lost, draws, could have won all of them. Arguably had won all of them.
I don't mind the draw. I mean, I think he was just content with staying on his back in round 2, but 10-8, that is where I question. Yeah, that's where I question. But regardless, great human being. It was a good fight while it lasted. But yeah, I don't mind the draw. Manuel Torres, what a knockout. Grant Dawson's chin.
It's not
just
the chin.
non-existent.
He's just like a Pat Sabatini-esque, ground fighter. You don't want to be one-on-one with the man.
But at least Pat Sabatini could take punches.
Yeah, I mean, but he's got knocked out a couple times. You know the game plan going in, what they want to do. Where they lack is the striking, and that's what you're going to have with every time you get Grant Dawson. You get an explosive fighter like Manuel Torres. I saw that happening.
Plus 345, Chris Duncan via submission, baby.
I love that.
Go.
Yeah, that was a fire fight for as long as it lasted.
Yeah, he was about to get knocked out by Terrence McKinney. Then it just looked like Terrence McKinney gave up. It was great to see Macy Barber back in there, win after 21 months, almost 2 years.
Just like Jalen Turner coming back too.
Yeah, it was a great story.
Great stories.
Jalen Turner actually finding God was amazing. Him being saved, it was the whole thing. Kind of like what we said, emotional retirement a few months ago, coming back, getting the win over a legend in Edson Barbosa. We get there with Bruno Ferreira as well. Not the best fight for, not the best night, I would say, for Sarah Longo's team and Nazim Sedikov as well. Fares Zahab he's legit.
Yeah, Varziam is really good. But as you said, back and forth, Duncan almost getting knocked out. You saw that crazy bonkers fight between Barnashevsky and Aslan.
My God, we get there with at least we get there with one Polish fighter as well.
Yeah, but hey, shout out to the books, bro. They voided it. So we were able to still hit on that parlay, that Polish parlay.
Overall, it was a really great night. The only thing I got wrong was Nazim Sedikov and the co-main event and main event.
Yeah, brother. I did really good too. 9-4-1
nice.
For UFC 323.
Real quick, reason I left a few minutes ago was I wanted to look at our futures from last year.
Oh,
and I
not
wrote
looking
them down.
good. I'll tell you.
So the current flyweight, you and I took Alexander Pantoja, and we were live. Plus 100, we were both wrong. It is Joshua Van out of Maymar.
That was not even on the list.
Yeah,
he wasn't even on the radar at the start of the year. That's crazy.
Bantamweight, I took Merab Dvalishvili.
Wow, you were live.
And you took Umar Nurmagomedov. We were both wrong. It is the great Piotr Yan.
Yep.
For featherweight, excuse me. I had Ilia Tapore. We both had Ilia Tapore.
Yeah. And
Alexander Volkanovski.
Yeah, and I wanted Volk, and I wanted Topuria at lightweight, and I wanted Islam at welterweight, and I put Islam at lightweight. And
I'm gonna get to it. Let's not jump the gun. At lightweight, I had Islam Makhachev. You had Armin Sarukian. It is Islam Makhachev. No, it was Ilia Tapore. Excuse me, it's Ilia Tapore. For welterweight, it is Islam Makhachev. You got that one right.
Oh,
I got Bilal Muhammad. Did not get that.
So we only have one right so far, and it is welterweight with
for
Islam.
You.
Chalk too was minus 200.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly. Oh my god.
Yeah. No, you had Islam Makhachev for welterweight.
So it was right.
Plus 500.
Oh wow.
Yes, you're up. You're up regardless of everything you missed.
All right.
Middleweight. Hamzat Shemaev.
You and I both had it
at minus 200. We both.
That was the minus 200. Thank you.
Yes.
Wow.
Light heavyweight is Alex Pereira. You hit that at plus 1,000, 10-1.
Oh my god, I'm up units right now.
I had John Jones. Oh no, No, I'm sorry. We had that. I'm reading heavyweight. Light heavyweight, we both had Unk.
Oh, I was about to say
Ankalaev, Muhammad
what?
Ankalaev. Yeah. Sorry, we didn't have that. Heavyweight is Tom Aspinall. You had Alex Pereira. I had John Jones.
And it's Aspinall. That's
Uh,
crazy.
yeah.
Damn. But hey,
So
plus 500 and minus 200.
yeah, so you got 2 for the men. I got 1. And now for the women's
You
strawweight.
swept.
No, I did not.
Ah,
Women's strawweight, I had Tatiana Suarez.
me too, didn't
We
I?
both had it.
Oh
Yep, and
my
it is
God.
Mackenzie Dern.
What was her odds? But like plus
Bro.
15,000, 15 to 1 or something.
Flyweight, it is the bullet. Why do we keep going against her? Valentina
Who did I
Shevchenko,
have? Aaron
Aaron
Blanchfield?
Blanchfield, and I had the future Macy Barber.
Oh my God.
I mean, if
Man.
she didn't get sick,
We're
she
both
was
like,
live.
yeah, if they had that fight, who would have known, right?
Yeah. And we both hit the minus 300 for bantamweight Kayla Harrison. So you get 3 and I got 2.
Hey,
Trash.
it's not easy, bro. Yo,
You
predicting
just
the
never
future in this
know.
sport. This is the craziest sport and the best sport on the planet. At least
Yeah.
I feel like it's not getting your heart broken like these damn
No.
Mets.
It's wow. But no, it's crazy. We'll have our future episode, I think early January. We'll get the odds up. We'll have our records for everything,
Your
including
awards.
we'll have it next week or year to date after this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
But by the way, talk about draws. Lamont Roach, he's addicted to draws. 115, 111.
Yeah.
He actually lost that card, and then it was 113, 113 for the other 2
Yep.
judges' scorecard. Isaiah Cruz, I thought fought well.
Yeah. But all I could say, the bright side of silver lining is, like I said, shout out to the books. They voided that out, and we were able to cash a little parlay. Had Peter Yan and Lamont Roach going together, and it just went down to the Peter Yan. So still plus money victory.
Yeah, 100%. So overall, really great night, really great weekend for us. Let's dive into it. Last card, UFC Vegas 112. But before we do that, a quick word from our sponsor. We're brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks to just a kick, just like how we like our lives, whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or an elderberry watching Navy versus Army. It doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. I believe here at Axe K Picks and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up.
Go Navy.
Kid, next year Navy Army is in MetLife. Gotta go.
Oh, I'll be down, man.
It's
always go Navy beat Army.
It's always go Navy beat Army.
Yep.
-6 this weekend. But kid, last card here, UFC Vegas 112 headline in the flyweight division, where they have a new champion.
Wow.
Number 2,
Wide
Brandon Royval taking on number 6, Manel Cap. Main card goes down 10 p.m. on ESPN. Prelims go down at 7. And we will start in the women's flyweight division. What do you got?
Yeah, bro. For these first 2 fights, I'm not getting involved. No official play for the big girls here. Teresa Bleda and Jamie Lynn Horth are big for this weight class, but I wouldn't see it any other way. Bleda is -145. Horth is +150 if you wanted to know the odds there.
Give me the dog. I'll start it with the curtain jerker.
Jamie Lynn Horth? Canadian, huh?
Dog. Yeah, I got to. We cashed on her last time, and I think the wrong girl is favorite here. I think the Blendina girl or whoever.
Teresa Bleda.
Yeah, she spent majority of her career getting by with physicalities. She lands a lot of strikes because she's constantly attempting takedowns. I was watching some film on her, but despite that, she hasn't really had that much success in 3 fights for the UFC. She's attempted 19 takedowns and landed just 5. So that's not good. That's 27% accuracy, and she's walked away with a pair of wins because the fighters couldn't get away from her
There's not much
grasp.
head movement involved with Blada's game too. You've seen her get tagged on the feet.
Yeah, and I just think she's not going to be as lucky when taking on Jamie Lynn Horth when they fight. You know, she's tough to deal with, physicality. She's tough to hold down.
Yeah.
You know, she took the short fight against Miranda Moravec. She held her own against a really tough wrestler. And Miranda Ravix, who's a good wrestler, she just went 2 of 9 in takedown attempts versus Jamie Lynn Horth. And you know, if she could deal with the strength of Miranda Moravec, I think she can handle here. So I love the underdog. I think the wrong girl's favorite.
Yeah, man, I like that. I was thinking of pairing her with Melissa Croden, you know, her fellow native. We've cashed with Melissa Croden as well, so I think I got to go back to the well in that fight, that bantamweight fight against Luana Santos, where Luana Santos is favored at -120. So yeah, give me Melissa Croden plus 115. I know like I said, we skipped the fight, but I'm gonna guess that you don't have a pick in that heavyweight matchup between Fry and Pat.
No.
No, yeah, I wouldn't touch that. I'm not too familiar with either guy. Couldn't find much footage on either, so that's why I jumped right into Melissa Croden on the money line.
Mm-hmm.
Heavyweight matchup next. I know people are starting to like what they're seeing out of Stephen Asplin. Sean Sheriff is no joke. He's plus 215, but I just don't think he's going to be able to compete with Asplin's pace. I think he's a grinder too. He's got a lot of TKO wins. I think people are maybe putting too much merit into the finishing here. I think a way to actually squeeze out, because he's been there, done that. I think a guy who he jokes about him having all the extra skin of all the weight he's lost, doesn't take a weak man to lose that type of weight. I think he's going to have great cardio, and so don't let his body fool you. I think he's able to go all 3 rounds and win dominantly. It's just if Sheriff isn't enough to get that far. But I'm willing to kind of squeeze this -225 favorite in Asplin, because I've cashed before. If you don't know, when we've talked about him in regional promotions before, we've cashed with him. Give me Stephen Asplin via decision at plus 900. Like I said, too much in the stock of the finish. I'm going to go for this reaching the judges. This heavyweights, it always happens. Welterweights next up. You know, death taxes and Neil Magny by decision might be coming to an end here, my boy. Plus 350. The odds makers see it that way because you're getting a debuting Yaroslav Amosov, who was a champion in Bellator and PFL. Minus 385 on the books here. You got to take Amosov. I'll lay the chalk because I see him able to get it done. Even though Neil Magny is on a 2-fight winning streak, I think Amosov had a bad performance against Jason Jackson. I do think he's a high-level fighter. This is a way, out of the frying pan into the fighter against Neil Magny. You insert yourself right into the top 15 if you get a win.
Not so fast, my friend.
Doing Neil Magny, huh? Going for it?
It's the last of the year. Neil Magny. We got to keep running.
Plus 350. There's nobody worth a minus 300 in the UFC.
No, in your first fight, I don't care how good. You were in a Mickey Mouse promotion. Now you're in the big dogs.
But he did go to war. He did fight for his country, and he did reclaim his belt. You saw that video, right?
Yes.
Pretty bad.
But Neil Magny is a true American.
Also a soldier, Air Force baby, combatant instructor. I mean, come on.
He loves this country. And I love my country. Give me Neil Magny, the All-American. He should be on the White Hart card.
Bro, I love that. I love that pick, bro. So let's talk about the featherweights next. 145 pounds. Joe Edison Brito. Dan Ige, motherfucker. I mean, why? What does he got beef with Dan Ige for? But minus 215 against Isaac Thompson, plus 210. I'm going to pick Brito here. Right. It's Australian. Isaac Thompson could come in and shock the world, but I mean, this is kind of like a setup fight, just like it would be for maybe King Green in the catchweight in a couple, but nothing for you. No. Let's go to the straw weights then. I have Amanda Lemos, who's a big dog here, plus 190, but you can see why, man. The Savage, she's been doing it for years, and she's right now only age 30, so I think she's in the prime of her career. I'm fading Amanda Lemos, and I'm going with Gillian Robinson. Maybe with the guillotine. Minus 200, got to take her via submission, though. Jillian the Savage Robinson is, I think, one of the better fighters. She's got the all-time record for submissions, and I think she hasn't had one in quite a while, so I think she gets one here who Mendes Lemos is susceptible for that. So, yeah, Robertson via sub is plus 250. I think this is the robbery of the week.
Yeah, 100%. She's one of the best grapplers and submission specialists in the division. And yeah, Amanda Lemos, she's a great power puncher, and if she made a mistake, think maybe she could get off balance. She could hit a deep double on her.
Woof.
She could take advantage of that, get her on the mat, utilize her ground game, control the fight, and I think she's gonna get the submission. I'm gonna sprinkle fight to end in submission plus 186, and Julian Robinson to win via submission at plus
You
225.
got me hyped now. I'm seeing the connection. I don't know why I didn't see it before. This is live for you guys, making a parlay. The 3 Canadian girls parlay, Jamie Lynn Horth, Melissa Croden, and Jillian Robertson. I put that all on the money line just to play it safe. And I think you get some good winnings off of it.
Let's go.
Let's go right into, like I talked about, the 160-pound matchup. You saw that, right? You King Green stepping in on short notice against Lance Gibson. So, a catchweight bout. I don't think either guy really comes into the best of shape with the most camp. I feel like this could be an underfight here. I don't know too much about Lance Gibson, so maybe he goes in swinging, and maybe you can question King Green's chin, right? He's been tagged a bunch and been finished, so you just with the question marks, you can go with the under here. It's a minus 130. I think it's a fair bet in this exchange.
Nothing for me here.
No, I look at this heavyweight matchup, and I think you look at it on paper and you see it's got finish written all over it. But man, 265 pounds has been just so awkward as of late. I think a fairly safe bet to get some plus money is to take Kennedy and Nchekwu and Marcus Buchecha over 2.5 rounds at plus 200. Obviously they're not seeing it that way. They're seeing Buchecha's either going to get his submission, like how Walter Walker did against Nchekwu, but that's Walter Walker hunting for the heel. I think Buchecha at times is afraid to exchange, and Nchekwu could, go in there and close the show, but he's just very not IQ oriented and very clunky in there. So I think you got a very clunker fight going on at this heavyweight exchange, man. Especially if these guys get tired, there's going to be no finish in sight. So yeah, over 2.5 rounds at plus 200.
Good luck.
You got nothing on that?
Nope.
But I think you might have a pick here in this pick'em fight. I mean, this is a great fight. The featherweights that are clashing is Morgan Charre and Melquizal Costa. I do like Mel Costa a lot, but I'm going with Charre. I look at the 2 losses that he's had, and he should have won those fights, man. We talked about it, right? He's been robbed twice in his most recency. So this guy should really be on like a 13-fight winning streak. I think his stand-up is going to be a lot better than Costa. It's just, I guess, Costa's ability to take the fight to the ground. I'm biased towards those grapplers, but and this time I'm fading myself and I'm fading him. So yeah, give me Morgan Charre. I think he's very underrated.
Yeah, great value here for Costa. Right in a 4-fight winning streak, and I think he can match Morgan Charre striking on the feet. He has great wrestling, and I think he has good grappling. So I think he's going to have great pace here. I think he's going to pressure Morgan Charre, take away his power. And if Costa gets this fight to the mat, he's going to have the advantage there as well. Minus 105. Wrong guy's favored again. Give me Costa.
Hey, yeah, man, I like that we're head-to-head in a couple here. We're seeing some of the fights down the middle with how it could finish. I wonder what you're seeing in this feature bout, man. I see Cesar Almeida as big underdog, but, look at all the credentials he's had in kickboxing. I mean, he's, taken Alex Pereira to decision. He's beat him and he's lost. And, he has all the, combat sports experience in the world, but there could be something about Oleksiejczuk here, right? I mean, he's minus 190. He's explosive. He's going to try to hunt the finish. Yeah, I think it's kind of one like his brother. It's like a kind of first-round finisher bust for him here. Almeida, I got to go with the credentials. I got to go with the resume. The fact that he can probably slow down the pace in there and kind of control the fight makes me think that he could win on the judges' scorecards. Unless, he just gets down early because he's gotten dropped and Oleksiejczuk just gets in there and then, like I said, fires on all cylinders. But I'm going to take a shot that it's kind of right down the middle. That's why I'm taking the fight going to distance at plus 205. Even though I'm kind of leaning Almeida, I just play it safe because, like I said, maybe Oleksiejczuk does drop him early, maybe a 10-8 round in the first, if it's something like that, and kind of mess up the rest of the fight. So I'm going with a couple of dog totals in this one.
Yeah, nothing for me here, kid.
Featherweight matchup that's next, though, 145 pounds. Yep. Kevin Vallejos, minus 285 against Giga Chikadze. I mean, plus 280 for him. I like him in this spot. I think we think the world of Kevin Vallejos. He has all the potential in the world, but I think this is a big step up in level, right? Giga's fought the best of the best, and I still think he's got it. I don't think he's really lost too much. I know he's have losses in his last 4, but they're, like I said, Arnold Allen, right? Like, look at the guys he's fighting. He's fighting the top of the top, and this is, like I said, it's just a big step up in competition for Kevin Vallejo. So, yeah, give me the Georgian Giga Chikadze on the money line plus 280. Thinking the dogs are barking.
Yeah, this should be a fun fight. I think two very high level strikers. I think the odds are a little bit high here for Kevin, considering he only has 2 fights in the UFC since earning that contract last year. And Giga Jacasey's coming off of back-to-back losses, but he's proven he's durable. He can compete with the best fighters, and I like the over 2.5 rounds, minus 150, and I think this could be a competitive fight that can go the distance. And if you like the fight to go the distance, you get that at minus 120. So I do like that as well.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's cook these books. Like I said, Robbie of the week. I mean, everything that we're seeing here is leading up to this main event, the last card of 2025. UFC Vegas 112. Man, is it a title contender here? Like kind of like a number one contender match? I mean, a lot's cooking in the flyweight division. I'll leave that up to you guys to argue. Brandon Royval, the Raw Dog, is exactly that, a dog again in another match at plus 250, taking on Manel Kopp. Interesting photos as of late to be the minus 245 favorite. Are we arguing that nobody should be that big of a favorite, or is he the exception to this rule?
I mean, I think he is a little bit too big of a favorite. I understand the line. I don't think I would make him that big of a favorite. I think both fighters are extremely durable. Neither one has been finished inside the octagon, so I don't see that happening here either. And obviously Manel Kapp's going to try to keep the fight standing on the feet, where I do think he'll have the advantage. I'm going to mute real quick. He's going to have the advantage on the feet. Manel Kapp, and Royval, he's gonna look, if he turns this into a brawl, he's live and get it on the mat. I think he'll have the advantage there. If you have to take a shot on a side, I would take Brandon Royval here, because it's crazy. Even though if he is getting tagged, he's gonna come forward and he's actually gonna put on even more of a pace here. Plus 250, I think that he's live. He has plenty of 5-round experience as well, where Manel Kapp only 5-round fight ended in round 3. So I like over 3.5 rounds here in this fight. That's going to be my official bet. You could get that at minus 127. I like that. That's going to be my official play. But if I were to have to take a side, it'd be Brandon Royval.
I like that, man. Yeah, I'm with Brandon Royval. I see the gap is the grappling. I know Manel Kapp is hard to take down. Like kind of how I see Morgan Cherry being, and I was, poised to kind of take him, but I don't know. He just seems to fold in those high pressure situations, right? Time and risen. For Asakura lost championship bout, right? Manel Kapp, we think is going to be the next in line. Falls into controversy with Evloev, right? Mosvar. I mean, not what's my boy's name? Muhammad, right?
Makayev.
Yeah, Makayev, bro. So it's just like time and time again, you let us down, and I think you just reveal your true nature. And I just can't back a guy, especially laying that much. So yeah, I'm all over Raw Dog at plus 250. Like I said, the dogs are barking in the Cohen main event.
I love it. Well, Joe, good luck. Prelims, like I said, start at 7 p.m. here on the East Coast on ESPN. Plus,
that's late.
Main card 10 o'clock. Well, you got a lot going on. You got Navy, Army. You got the Heisman. You got FCS playoffs. You got John Cena's last fight. You got everything, bro. We got PFL Europe as well going down here. I have 2 plays, but I'll let you go first, kid. What do you like here for PFL Europe?
I'm guessing the 2 plays you're gonna have Cohen Main. No. I thought to get involved a little earlier.
I do.
I see some ex UFC guys as well that are pretty high level, but maybe one you might not know about, right? And I'm wondering where you're gonna have a pick. So I'm gonna touch the bantamweight fight. That's Tara Lapilus and Liam Gittins. And I think, there's too much discrepancy between the levels here. Lapilus is obviously going to win, right? It's just depending on how. But I could probably just lay the money line on him and compare him with the other people on this card that I'm picking. So this next fight is a welterweight matchup between Patrick Harvey-Bora and Kevin Jousset. Remember that name, right? Kevin Jousset didn't win against Brian Battle. Remember, how I lose to a freshman? Brian Battle's too much. Now he's like dirty boxing guy and stuff like that. But I think a lot of people don't know about Patrick Harvey-Bora, and I think I'm going to back him here. Minus 190, I'm going to lay that I think he could beat Kevin Jousset. You have a pick in it?
Yeah, I'm going way before that. I'm going to take the Connor Hughes fight here.
What's his name? He just had a fight before. He lost.
Well, I'm taking him. It's probably one of my favorite fights here. I love the odds.
Because Zuba, yeah, when they had that tournament. Yep.
So -155. If you watch Connor Hughes in the past, you're gonna see someone who I think he stays really compact. He fights smart. I think he has very high IQ, cuts off angles well, and if he puts his back to the cage, he's gonna get you out. So I think he can mix it up, put the grappling in the mat as well. And on the other side, you got Alexander Chisov, and he's much more of like that flash/pretty boy. He keeps his hands down low, trying to look good in his opponents while lunging, looking for a strike. And
is this for the $500,000? This is the tournament championship, right?
Yeah. So I just think what the problem with Alexander is, it's twofold. Firstly, I just think Connor Hughes rarely gets shaken off of his game plan. I think his IQ is just too big. I think he stays safe. And second, I just think the way he cuts off the cage and kind of limits his opponent and their mobility, I think is going to be huge in this fight. So I like the fundamentals. I like the fight IQ, and I like the odds. He's a favorite for a reason. -150. I think he should carry the fight here. -150. I don't mind. Give me Connor Hughes.
No. Yeah, and then, I mean, he's just going to have to lay the chalk with Chris Cyborg. I mean, I think obviously, Sarah Collins is a good fighter, but it's just not, on the level what we always refer to with between like Valentina Shevchenko, Amanda Nunes, and the likes of Chris Cyborg, Kayla Harrison, Larissa Pacheco. They're just a little bit ahead of the rest. So yeah, Chris Cyborg in the and then
they're just so big of a favorite, both of them.
Yeah, and then the main event, though, but this is the thing I got to switch for you. Vadim Nemkov, mind you, is a smaller heavyweight. Even though Vitor Emelianenko, protege, and all the Russian wrestling, and this probably better all-around game. I'm going with Renan Ferreira. I think the size is just too much. He's a pure natural heavyweight. This is Vadim Nemkov having to surmount big odds, and yet he's the favorite. I'm going to take the dog in this just based off value. But Vadim Nemkov, obviously, he could outskill anybody on the planet. How good he is at that higher weight class. So, yeah, based it on size in that one. Let's go with the Renan Ferreira plus 350 right now, right? Plus 415. I'm seeing on some books. So it's just a value. I like to see it, and that size, I could back it.
Yeah. I'm taking Renan Ferreira as well. I also like the over 1.5 rounds. Get that at my plus 132 as well. I think it's a feel out round here in round one. And then eventually I think he's going to fucking put it on him and he's going to starch him. So yeah, give me Renan Ferreira here.
Wow, yeah.
Coming off that loss.
Yeah.
Francis who? His contract's coming to an end. He's not going to fight.
Yeah, and he's the one who fought Francis Ngannou. He's fought big guys before. And yeah, I mean, most of his fights, they don't last that long. Headed for he's explosive, man. Very dangerous, big dude.
So, good luck. That should be that should be a very fun fight.
I think PFL. Yeah, that looks like to be a good card. In 2026, man. I think we talk about the degradation of other promotions. We need the health of these guys to keep putting on events and having more and more fights. I mean, we got to have places for these fighters to go.
100%. PFL is also bringing fights to Spain. First time a promotion is going to Spain, and looks like
they got there first, huh?
Yep, they got there first. So shout out Don Davis doing something right. All right, kid. Got some news. Arman Tsarukyan, he will take on Shara Manegomedov in a grappling match in Armenia, December 30th. The only way to be crowned winner is to submit your opponent. No decisions.
Wow, I like that. Kind of like a Eddie Bravo Invitational or EVI. I wonder if it stales and they go into overtime. Was there anything involved in that? Any discussion there? I wonder what the rule sets will be, but that's how they would go. And sometimes they maybe put you in vulnerable positions. You got like a triangle halfway in, and you got to fight from there. So yeah, I mean, I like seeing the fighters involved in the grappling. It's low risk. I guess you can worry about if heel hooks get involved and legs. But remember when Sean Brady had his matchup with Craig Jones? They did no leg lock. So yeah, ignore 50% of the body there. Let's see how it goes.
We have a main event for UFC Vegas 113. Next time we'll have a fight in the Apex, February 7th, 5-round main event in the bantamweight division. Mario Bautista taking on Vinicius Oliveira, trying to crack into the top 10. That's a banger of a
Big
fight.
fight for him, yeah, man. I mean, he could do a lot for his career. So let's see. Let's see if Lockhart can step up.
February 28th, end of the second month of the year. Quick turnaround for Brandon Moreno. UFC Mexican
Main
fighter
event, right? You got
main
the
event.
headline.
Yeah, Asura Amabayev. That's a big fight for Amabayev.
Yeah, a lot of these guys, man, respect to the previous generation, man, putting their rankings and their status on the line. So
That's a
we'll see if
top.
the
So Asura Amabayev is number 7th in the flyweight division. Brandon Moreno did drop 2 spots to number 4. So if he
hey,
wins, he's in the top
yeah,
5.
man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just
Who do you
you
think the
know,
favorite is?
oh, they have odds already?
I'm just asking. What do you think? I think Amabayev will
Yeah,
be
I
favorite.
actually was gonna say, like, I think Asa Amabayev should, but I wonder if maybe there's still a little favoritism in Moreno and that he gets a slight favorite. Maybe who knows? Maybe it
I
could
mean,
be a pick 'em.
he wasn't even favored this past weekend against Tesura Taira.
There you go, as we talked about, the next
So
generation.
it's the next generation, kid. But all right, that's all the news I had. I know you got
Yeah.
BKFC Derby, UK Light Heavyweight Championship. When is that going down?
Yeah, it's going down tonight. So PFL tomorrow prior to, like you said, everything going on prior to the UFC after that. But yeah, I like this fight a lot. These guys throw down. I gotta go with Connor Cook. I think at 6'3", you're gonna have a height advantage against a 5'9" dude, Anthony Holmes, and he's being counted out plus 125. Not the steepest odds, but minus 165. I'll lay that on Captain Cook any day of the week.
I love it, kid. Last pick before we get out. Navy -6, Army +6, totals 38.5.
I
Under.
No,
Wow.
I would take the plus money.
Oh.
I hate to say it. I would. I think that's too much for this type of game.
Navy's just different this year, though. And they won last year. Army's looking for a revenge spot, but they're playing in the bank.
Yeah, but didn't Army,
that's a home game for Navy.
Didn't Army have the quarterback go crazy this year?
He's dookie.
Or was that last year?
That was like a year or two ago, yeah. Army's
Navy by 100, baby.
Navy by
Let's
a
go.
million. And they're gonna have the home crowd. It's at the bank.
Oh my God, they're not doing it at Annapolis?
No, it's never at a home but that's essentially a home.
Oh, so they always do it like Lincoln Financial, M&T Bank, you said MetLife.
Foxborough, next year's MetLife. Yeah, they do it up the Northeast. They try to do quote unquote neutral.
Yeah.
It ain't neutral this year.
But he got all the midshipman fans going crazy in the stands. Yeah,
it.
Navy by 100. Let's be
Navy
real.
by 100.
I was trying to give some respect to our other branch.
Yeah, well, it's like our good friend Ricky said. We know you're here.
We know you're here.
Okay, any plans? You going to B-dubs this weekend? What are you doing?
No, working, honestly.
nice.
I hate to say it, but we're locking in, and we're going to be tuning into the fights. And we're gonna be
Who's your
handling
Heisman
business.
this year?
I hate to say it, bro. I think because
No, it's Fernando. Yeah,
I think because Indiana beat your Bucks. I think it would have been saying. I really did.
Yeah, that game was for the Heisman. Yeah.
And in all reality, I'm biased towards running backs and wide receivers. I really think Jeremiah Love has some case, but
he had a slow start.
Yeah, have a slow start and being excluded from the playoff, you get the invite. Diego Pava deserves the invite.
100%.
But
you
don't give him the nod. Both of these guys are out, and you have an undefeated season on your hands right now. If Fernando Mendoza could do something that hasn't been done before, I mean, it would be a spectacle, but you're probably going to have to cross paths with Ohio State again.
I would love for him to be the quarterback of the New York Jets.
They have a lot more they need than just.
No, I know, but we need to start somewhere, and that's what the
got to start somewhere. 2 takeaways in 2025. I've never heard of that before. That's
kid. Good luck this weekend on the fights. Enjoy the last fight night. Enjoy boxing. Hey, everyone, make sure you watch tomorrow night. It is if you're a wrestling fan, make sure you watch John Cena Saturday night main event against Gunther.
Yeah, bro, and catch that documentary, the 30 for 30. Stuart Scott.
Oh yeah,
Booyah! That was beautiful. A beautiful tribute for a beautiful man, and one who promoted combat sports and mixed martial arts as a whole. And the UFC can thank him for that. And that's why we're doing Fight Like Hell night this Saturday, baby.
Take care of yourself and each other, and we'll see you guys down the road. Peace.